All right, well, I just want to welcome everybody to our Monday night team Zoom. We only have 2 more weeks left of our boot camp tonight. We are going to get to hear from a woman who is building her business through the use of social media, and she's going to share with us all of her tips. And so for those of you on our team that know me, I'm like more old school, belly to belly. So this is good. I already have my notebook out and ready to take notes from Bailey tonight. So super excited about that. And next week, I'm going to be on and sharing the compensation plan. So if you have team members or if you have prospects that you've talked to that you want to hear more on the compensation plan, that will be next Monday night at 7 o'clock as well. So a couple little things I want to mention to you guys first. I was just on a call with corporate, just got off that call for New Year's kickoff. Super exciting, guys. It's only 85 days away to New Year's kickoff. So if you attended New Year's kickoff last year, before you know, it's such an incredible event. I love that it's just, 2.5 days, but you get so much great knowledge in that short of a period of time. The company is going to be releasing a couple new products, a really incredible new tool for your business. So if you are, building the business, if you're sharing this with other people, creating a legacy for your families, you're going to want to be at New Year's kickoff because that is being released there. I know many of you also know, but Jim and Kathy and Eric announced a few weeks ago, making sure that you're enrolling 15 people the last 15 weeks of the year, one person a week. And you guys, we got some more inside scoop on that today. In January, the company is launching like literally the biggest promotion they've ever done in 17 years. So if you do that, if you're enrolling the one person a week over, the last 15 weeks of the year, it doesn't have to be one a week. It could be 2 1 week and, one the next week, however you end up at 15 people, you're going to be ahead of the game for the company's announcement, and you do not want to miss this. So we're just super excited about that as well. So we were on that call today, and they were talking about number of tickets available and the number of tickets. There's just not very many tickets left. So if you have team members that don't have their tickets yet, please call and encourage them tonight to get them. The company's going to do another big push for New Year's kickoff tickets like they did last week, and they sold over 1,000 in that day that they did the New Year's kickoff push. So just a few little things I wanted to share with you guys about New Year's kickoff and making sure you're getting those, 5 enrollments a month, or the one over the next week for the 15 weeks. So, but for our call tonight, I'm super excited. So I'm going to introduce our guest trainer, and she's going to share with you an awesome PowerPoint she has. And then when she finishes up, we'll have time for some questions and answers. So Bailey lives in Arizona. She is a retired D1 athlete. So that's, you can see her competitiveness. When I read these things, Bailey, I'm like, oh, okay, this makes sense. She's been a product user for 5 years. She's been building her business for the last 12 months. You guys, she works full-time and builds her Isagenix business full-time. So I know a lot of you guys are still in the grind of your full-time job, but she is making it happen and, not using excuses. I mean, she's making it happen. And she's creating a legacy with her family. Her parents are Tanya and Jeremy Kirkpatrick. And so they are Isagenix millionaires, couple of the year this last year. So, I mean, they have a dynasty. Her aunt is Trudy Maples. I mean, they have a lot going on with their incredible family. So if you guys will help me welcome Bailey, she is going to share with us how to build through Instagram, social media. I'm just super excited, Bailey, because that is not my skill set. So I'm ready to take notes.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me, Hilary and Rita. I'm so grateful for the opportunity. So I just wanted to get started by sharing just a tad bit of my story, because I think it's really important to understand why I use social media the way I do, and how I am still just a student. Like you said, I'm still learning, and the biggest mindset I was able to take from being a Division I athlete is really incorporating, like you said, that competitive edge, but also understanding that everywhere that God has taken you throughout your life serves a purpose and a reason. And just, I would encourage you as you listen tonight, if social media is not a strong suit of yours, or maybe it is, that you just have a really open mindset and know that every single day I still learn something new, and I'm always growing and open to learning more things about how I can make my business better, and then turn around and teach that. So know that Instagram especially is something that is growing, and it's so different than it was even a year ago. So it's constantly an ever evolving thing. And like Hilary mentioned, my mom, Tanya Kirkpatrick, did an amazing job building her business using majority Facebook, because that's what was really popular 5 years ago. And slowly the times are changing a little bit to really to doing both. I think right now it has been a really good balance. So I'm going to teach you a little bit about how I use Instagram as a platform to prospect. And I really encourage you to keep an open mind of understanding that that is a great place to meet people, and then take that conversation off of line, because like you said, the belly to belly connection is so, so important, and people need to hear your voice. They need to hear that you care about them and that you're not just trying to sell them on something. And so when I use Instagram, I'm a big believer in using the messenger to connect and to create the appointment, set the appointment there, and then get them on the phone so that they can hear you and really understand what is going on there. So I want to share a little bit through my PowerPoint on the basics of Instagram, how to use it, how I've been able to use it. My PowerPoint's not super long because then I want to pop off and share with you, now applying that, I've taught you the ropes, now kind of how do you do that? So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Let's see. Awesome. Perfect. So, all right, let me just get on here. Play. Awesome. So, can everyone see my screen okay? Can you give me a head nod? Perfect. Awesome. So, Instagram is a great place to really establish what your brand is. And the reason why I think it's so important for you to establish your brand and understand that your Facebook is amazing. You probably had it for a little while, but your Instagram should look like a storefront. If someone were to come walk by your Instagram or scroll through on social media, what are they seeing up front? Who are you? What do you represent? What do you stand for? And that first segment on the top of your Instagram is really important for that. So those things right there, I have Saved by Grace, I work at Lululemon, I was a former college athlete, which is important for me to put on there because I do really enjoy connecting with other athletes. I feel like we're wired a little differently in that mentality. So that's like a point for a potential prospect. That's why I have that on there. I'm living my life by design. That shows I am an entrepreneur. I do enjoy pursuing something greater than myself and having the creativity to have that open space to create my brand for what I want my visions and dreams to be, not someone else's. I'm on fire to love like Jesus. He's my rock and soul for everything and the purpose of why I do anything. And then I have my hair account. I also style hair and I love it. So I have that on there. And then I have a Linktree link, and this is something that's new, and I'm not going to talk a whole lot about Linktree tonight, but I do encourage you to go on YouTube and look up how to create one. I taught my mom when we were on vacation in California this last week on how to create hers. It's new for everyone, but it's amazing because it's a really great hub that maybe you don't have a website, or maybe you have a couple videos that you want to share with people on your social media, but you don't really have a place to put them. Linktree is a free app or a free website that you can go in and create your own link tree, and it's basically a hub for the different website links that you want to have. So maybe you have, if you do have a personal website, you can put that on there. Maybe you have a video you want to send someone, or maybe you use Google Forms to create a form to interview someone and ask them questions, maybe for them to be a potential prospect for you. So really important that you have your storefront and those situated how you want them. So personal branding. I want to talk a little bit about how to make sure that you're intentional with your posting on Instagram and not just doing it just because. So just like with your business, you're really intentional on every day. You're doing a little bit to move the needle, a little bit something different to get better and understand what you're doing. For Instagram, the same thing. So to have strategy behind what you're doing is important. It doesn't mean you have to schedule out for 6 months what you're going to post. I very much so am an impulse poster. When I have something that I feel like God's put on my heart, I put it on my social media for other people to hear. But I'm intentional on the topic of discussion, right? Because if you're following someone and they're constantly sharing all about their business, or they're constantly posting Isagenix products on their profile, it will disinterest someone. They're not going to want anything to do with that. Or same thing if you're constantly posting about like this one hobby, maybe you're obsessed with working out, but that's all you post about. How are you going to be relatable for a mom that maybe has 4 kids at home and she cannot even get out of the house because she constantly has 4 little ones at her feet? That's not relatable for her either. So really understanding what are your top 10 themes or personal brand of your life, figure out what those are, and then get a little bit more specific. And then I would challenge you to take this 9-square box, write it out somewhere in your notebook, or maybe you create it on, I just created this in Word, it's really simple, and then put in those 9 top things that are important to you. And then when you're posting, be intentional with what those are so that you can really rotate through making a point of, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Yes, I love building a business from home and sharing things and tips on that. highlighting a product. Maybe you live and die by e-shots. Get creative with how you can do that. And maybe you're out pushing your stroller or something and you have an e-shot on your way while you're picking up the next kid. Like, I'm the oldest of 4, I get it. There's lots of things moving and grooving at home. So understand that people want to see that in a tasteful way without you throwing up isogenics all over your social media. I think times are changing a little bit where you don't necessarily have to hide what you do because people are interested. They want to know what's going on, but also have a healthy balance around that. And how often should you post? I get this question a lot. So I would say once a day, honestly, because of how the algorithms are moving in Instagram. It's important for you to stay active on there, because if you go like a ghost for a week, that changes the algorithms and the people that follow you may not see your posts. So I really think that that's important. Also being vulnerable, have a 1 in 4 rule. So a lot of things like trending right now is that Instagram can be a highlight reel of your life, or that everyone only posts the good stuff. Well, I think it's really relatable when someone posts that they missed their alarm and they didn't end up getting to go to their workout that morning because life happens and it didn't go off and they didn't wake up. That's relatable for me because it's something what happened to me too. But I don't put that as something every single post. I'm not complaining, right? Having a healthy balance of, hey, it's important to me to be real and show that like I'm not perfect, but it's also important for me to have a balance around that, guard other people's energy as well as my own, because it is true, where you focus, you're going to find the beautiful fruit in your life, right? So if you're constantly focusing on the things that are negative or all the things that are dragging you down, that's the energy you're putting out there. And are you really providing value at that point to your followers? So I always share with people, ask yourself 2 questions when you're posting. How do you want to make the people that are following you feel? And what launch am I trying to prepare them for? Are you trying to prepare them for like, hey, we have this bedtime belly buster challenge coming up. I'm super pumped about it. We just finished up the summer and I'm really excited to fit into my skinny black dress in the holidays, or whatever that looks like, that you're preparing them for something, that it's not just constantly like going, a repetition through life. What are you excited about right now? What are you looking forward to? It could be in your business, could be in your family. It could be you guys are getting ready to go on a really cool trip. It could be the Disney trip that everyone's talking about, and create that FOMO around that. But always have that visual of, this is the vision that I'm trying to cast out for my followers. How is that going to lead me into someone asking me a question like, hey, what the heck is it that you do? Because you live a pretty cool life and I want a little bit more information. Okay, so what is Instagram stories? A lot of times I've gotten this question because there's your regular posting, right, that I just showed you, but then you also have these 24-hour stories that you can show day by day what's going on. And I'm really active on my stories and I get pretty high interaction because of that. So as long as you stay consistent, I think that will be great. Also, don't feel pressure that you have to post all the time, but you will get what you get out of it. What you put in, you'll get out. So it is a real time of your daily life, 24 hours, and it allows for high interaction. It really makes you relatable too, because maybe you don't want to put like, oh, the dog pooped on the carpet and you were so mad when you came home from running errands on your home screen, but you wanted to talk about it in your story and just say, hey, life happens. It's not the end of the world, but this happened today and I am human. So I want to play this video on how to create a story for you guys so you can really understand how it works. Here.
Okay guys, so for this first video, I'm going to teach you guys on how to create an Instagram story. So I'm actually screen recording here so I can physically show you with my finger what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go into my home Instagram screen right here. And I'm going to show you on how this little circle right here is where you create your story. So if you click on this, you can see my story from today. So I went taco shop. I got tacos after shopping yesterday. I posted about going to a birthday party. I went to church this morning, celebrating my brother for his birthday. A little bit of words of encouragement. And this is a really cool one. So on your Instagram stories, if you actually press and hold down, you can check out what someone is doing in their story without it going away. And so this is me posting about the Natural Accelerator without saying anywhere on here Natural Accelerator. So I want to show you something really important. So down here, you can actually go into here and you can add it to your Facebook story if you wanted to. Add to both, which is awesome. And you can also add it to your highlights, which puts them in different basically folders on your home screen on Instagram story. So when you want to create a story, you're going to go to your home screen and you're going to actually swipe over. And you can either take a picture of something or you can swipe up and you can select something that's in your camera roll, and then when you go into edit it, you can either go here, you can add the location, you can tag someone, add a hashtag, you can even do a GIF, you can put music, you can do a poll, and I'm going to go into that in another video on how to create a poll. And then if I wanted to add this to my story, all I have to do is add to my story. And if I click on this here, there it is, just after the natural accelerator one. So that's how to really simply add a story.
Okay, so this next one is going to talk about a little bit more about creating polls, why it's important, why you should do it, the details on how to create a poll, and how you can use the polls on Instagram to drive prospects and figure out how you can get that connection to a conversation on the phone to eventually an enrollment. So that poll is a first touch of engagement. So they always say it takes about 4 to 6 maybe touches for you to get in it, to get an actual enrollment. So that's the very first touch. So let's say I'm going to ask a question, like a very broad question as a poll, but I do a few of them to get them to interact with me. So I give 2 different options in the poll, A or B, and you can create whatever you want that to say. And I usually try and keep them both really lighthearted. Like instead of saying yes or no, it'd be like, yeah, girl, sign me up, or you do you, like I want to support you from afar type of thing, instead of making it a negative energy because there's really no purpose. And just realize that, again, that Instagram is that first connection, that I don't build my entire business on Instagram, and I don't just get people to send me enrollment forms through Instagram DM. I really want to set your expectations there and understand that this is a great place as an initial step. So I'm going to play this little video on how to create a poll.
Okay, so some of you may be wondering, now that I have stories on here, how in the world am I supposed to interact with people? That's a great question. So now that I have my stories on here, I can actually go back to my home screen and swipe to create a poll. So I'm going to show you guys a poll that I've done in the past, which was really, really awesome for me to get engagement for the Slim Down to Summer Challenge. So I posted this photo of all the girls I have doing the Slim Down for Summer Challenge, and I added that to my story. Then I went back into my camera roll and I created this poll. Now this one's already been created, but in order for you to create one, I'll just show you how to do it. If you go up to here, click on poll, you can say, yes, please, I want to know more. Struggle to find a food intake, or I found something, or I found one. So when I make my polls, I'm really intentional on not being negative in the other one. So I usually provide like, yes, I want more information, or you do you, girl, or thanks but no thanks, or something that's like not negative as the second option. And then I put on here, most people don't even realize how much of a struggle it is for them. Add to the story. So then if I go back into here, once its engagement has happened, I can swipe up and it will tell me who has voted yes and who has voted no, which is so important when you are trying to engage with people.
So, and actually going after that, this video is a couple months, or that video that I took is a couple months old. So Instagram just 2 weeks ago came out with the opportunity for you to create a pre-recorded or pre-typed out response, and you can save it to your Instagram. So every single time someone responds to a poll now, I can say, hey babe, thanks so much for interacting with my Instagram story. How cool is it that we can connect this way? I'd love to give you some more information on the challenge we have coming up. What are some goals you're looking to achieve? And leave it open for them to tell me, right? Because people love to talk about their problems. They love to talk about themselves. So let them tell me what that is, relate to them on something, say, oh, I totally remember feeling that way. I would love to set up an appointment to talk with you a little bit better about how I can serve you in your goals. But in the meantime, if I send you a short video, would you take a moment to watch it and let me know when you finished it? After that, I'd send them now the new Isogenics Advantage video that just came out, following up with them. And then if they don't respond in like 24, 48 hours, I'll shoot them a message and say, hey, just wanted to follow up with you and see if you had a chance to watch that video. And what are 3 times that works best in your schedule this week to really connect so that we can get you to achieve those goals? Or really making it customizable to who you're talking to, right? That's a really broad opportunity of conversation, but really making sure you make someone feel loved and valued. One of my biggest, like, really pressure points is when I get mass messages on Instagram of like, hey girl, your hair's so pretty. Do you want to try my new shampoo? No, I don't. You didn't even look at my home screen and see that I'm already an entrepreneur. I'm involved with I found my forever home. Thank you, but no thank you. So really make sure that you're asking them questions and allow them to tell you their story, because that's going to be a connecting point. And just instead of saying, hey, you look like the perfect fit for my business, when you say something like that, you're automatically targeting someone without taking a moment to get to know them a little bit. And I know for me, that's not authentic. So really making sure that you're authentic in that. So why is it important to have a business account versus a regular Instagram? Very, very important. Doesn't cost you anything. Really, it's going to provide you massive amounts of number value, which for me, I'm kind of a geek about that kind of stuff. And I like to read who's engaging, what's creating high engagement and what's not. So this is going to show you how to create that business account. And then I'll follow up with just the last final touches on how to take the poll to a one-on-one meeting.
Okay guys, so in this next video, I want to show you how having a business account can really benefit you. So how to switch to a business account, if you go to your homepage here, and mine's already a business account, but you'll see this button right here. Instead of saying switch back to a personal account, it will already be a business profile. Basically, it's completely free, but what that means is it really allows you to understand the interactions that are happening on your home screen. So if you click this little clock up here in the corner, this is going to be all of my archived stories that I've posted in the past, which is really cool that Instagram saves it for you. So you can use this to maybe save these. I've sent them to some new team members that are like, Bailey, how do you create conversation on Instagram? What do you do? So here's this one that I just showed you guys about. And when I posted it, it was on July 1st. And it shows you the percentage. But if I swipe up, it's going to show me every single person that said yes and every single person that said no. So if I click on the yeses, I can now go through and like click on Rayleigh's profile, go up to these three dots here, send her a message, and I can interact with her because she commented. And it basically looks something like, hey girlie, thank you so much for interacting on my story. I'm so grateful for the fact that we get this platform to really interact on. What is it that you struggle with most on your food intake? Or whatever I'm asking in the question, I can go in and just follow up with her. And if I ask her that she's really interested in knowing about our personal community on Facebook, I'll add her as a friend on Facebook and follow up there and add her to the Free to Be page. So there's a lot of different options on here of what I've done, but if you notice, not everything I post on my story is about isogenics. Like here's this really awesome one, grocery shopping. Our family has a large obsession with almond and cashew butter. It doesn't say anything about isogenics. If you know what, if you realize I'm really try to keep that off of my wall, so it creates that fear of missing out. And I also am really intentional with providing value. So how can I really provide value to my followers? Things that you can control. It says on here, who you hang out with, your efforts, how personally you take things, what you believe, your priorities, how kind you are, what you eat, what you think about, what you bring about, how open-minded you are, and your happiness.
So that's just a little bit why your business account is really important. And then also really emphasizing once you have that poll, they've interacted, shoot them a message, book the appointment, get them on the phone, and also manage your expectations. There, about 60 people interacted. I would tell you average probably 15 to 20 people set the appointment with me from there. And then enrollments, since I've been doing this, I'd say I've enrolled about 25 people between the beginning of the summer until the end of the summer. So from the summer perspective, like 2 or 3 months. Just from Instagram. So definitely it's working. People are interested, they're curious, and they really, at the end of the day, guys, people want to know that they're loved and that they're a part of a community and that you genuinely care about them and their soul as a human being, not just, hey, I want to make money off of you, or hey, I need another enrollment this month. Do you want to buy these products off me? It's not that at all, and it really provides that personal connection. So this one, I believe, is the last video. It's going to walk you through how to add stories to your highlights, and what highlights are and all that good stuff, and then what the 5 top themes are of your life. So I'm going to play this, and then I'll fill in whatever it doesn't talk about.
A few other things that I really want to point out to you guys so you can have a good understanding of how to really, really master this opportunity with Instagram. So right here are something called highlights, and how you create a highlight is basically you just click new. You can decide what you want to have your highlight be, and you can add it into there. But basically, this is like your storefront. So if someone comes and clicks on my profile, this is what are the core values that are really important to me. So I have on here, Ohana, family, good times, business, freedom, my style, fashion, good eats, food, workouts, grateful, Jesus, encouragement. So those are really a lot of things that are really important to me. So if I go to, let's say like the workouts grateful one, waking up post cleanse day, like so much energy. People are like, what is a cleanse day? Creates that fear of missing out. Like clockwork every single morning, my apple cider vinegar. This one's really cool because it's a stop motion video and it shows you on how to create a video using the greens. And on there, you'll notice if I go backwards, that I didn't show the isogenics label at all. And a lot of people take daily greens, but they don't really pay attention to what they're consuming. I set a goal for myself to run an ultra marathon in mileage at Orange Theory, and I posted about it, and I had a bunch of people come with me. Now, this is a really cool one, too. So I talked about how I have my natural caffeine and adaptogens and natural blood flow products that I take before my workouts every morning, but I didn't have isogenics blaring all over it, which is cool because then it creates that curiosity. Ready for the bedtime belly buster challenge, a little FOMO. I posted my before pictures. I provided community and showed how I really implement that in my daily lifestyle. And then I'm going to go into more about this in the PowerPoint, but how important it is to really make your profile aesthetically pleasing. So notice that I have like a maintainable color code going throughout my entire Instagram, and I'm really intentional with how I post and what I post about, that I'm providing massive value in all of those different areas.
And then the last one is insights and where to find them, what is important about them. And this is going to be like more of the numbers on the business side of things. So why is it important for you to see, is it female or male that are interacting? How old are they? Where are they from? Especially with us opening new markets, you want to see where your followers are from so you can follow up. That's just another way to touch them and interact with them. And then also what time of day they're most active. So you can see when is a good time for you to post to get high involvement. And then when you, another good point to say is when you post when there's high involvement of what your followers are, so it's going to be different from what mine are, then you have an opportunity to get on the popular page, which is like the home screen where you would go to search someone's Instagram. And that's really cool because someone that's not following you, they may have no interaction with you whatsoever. You might pop up on their popular page, and that's a cool way for you to connect because then they land on your page that you have no interaction whatsoever.
The last video I want to show you guys is how to see your interactions. So if you go onto this bar chart right here, it's going to tell me how many people have interacted with me, what days are the most popular on interactions, who's discovered this. And if you click Understanding Your Insights, Instagram has really graciously explained on how each of these things work. If you go up to here to content, it's going to tell me which one of my feeds posts have gotten the highest interaction, which stories have gotten the highest interaction. You can create promotions through Instagram so more people see your posts. And if you go up to audience, this is the biggest one right here that's really important. You can see where your followers are from, the age range that they are, the gender that they are, and what day your followers are really interactive, and even breaks it down by the time, which is so cool. So if I want to post on Sundays, around noon would be the best time for me to post because that's when the most people are on. And if you go to days up here, the darker the color, the more interactive your followers are. So this is really awesome, and you won't have this on your profile if you haven't switched to a business account. So I strongly suggest that you do that. The business account also provides you an ability to have your followers call or email you, or you could just have your email on there if that's what you prefer. And if you go to this little save button, you can go through and save random people's posts and come back and look at them. So for instance, if I'm on the home page and I really love Hannah's recipe that she posted here, if I click this button to save it and go back to my home screen, go to the little save button, look, voila, it's right there. So I have that for future reference if I want it.
Okay, so I hope that provided a little bit of value on interaction for you guys because I found that if I just go through and talk about what I'm saying, it doesn't provide as much information, and it's really hard. I'm very much a person that needs to visually see things. That's why I created those videos. But I just wanted you to really understand these things that you could decide ahead of time, that you can make a decision at any moment to improve. It doesn't mean that you need to go through and delete all of the posts that you have now, because people love to see the transition between old posts to new, relevant, exciting, intentional posts. That's inspiring for them because they see that and say, okay, I can relate to her before, and I really want to be where she's at with her after. So how can I get there is by seeing that, and you seeing that authenticity, seeing that you're real and that you're not just trying to post all the pictures that have matching color codes and they're so exciting and your life is just big and grand. And so like that is hard for people to relate to. And then also learning a new platform is extremely valuable, and it can be frustrating at times. So just really understand that it's okay to fail forward, and it's okay to grow in that in your business. And then Eden had posted something that I really resonated with. There's an opportunity cost for me. Sitting out was getting expensive. So if you have the mindset that, oh, I'm too old, or I don't want to learn something new because it's just really frustrating and it's really hard for me, I just encourage you to tell that negative committee in your head to stop, because it's important for you to take a moment to step back and say, I'm not where I want to be, but this person is doing it really well. So instead of copying them, I'm going to take some advice from them. I'm going to do step by step one thing a day to get better. And that's going to push me forward in my business. And I'm going to start to see that. And then and later you can duplicate that in your business by teaching it to people on your team as well. So I hope this provided some value for you guys. Instagram has been a huge tool for me these days, and I still do. I want to touch on one other thing. I do use Facebook groups still a lot. We have a huge community of our Facebook team as a product page, and we use that for prospecting as well. And I have a business page on Facebook as well. So when I'm making that connection of the appointment, I also not only send them the video, but I add them to our page and say, hey, I'm going to tag you in our welcome video and one other video of a point that they've told me was a pain point for them. So maybe they say they can't sleep at night. I'm going to go into our product page, type in like sleep spray or can't sleep well, and then I'm going to tag them in someone's testimony and say, so excited to follow up with you this week at time whenever we booked the appointment. So I do use both. It's not just all Instagram, but really keep an open mindset to both, because it could provide massive value for you. Okay, that's all I have.
Okay, first of all, wow. Like there were a couple things that I was just like, holy smokes. Like first of all, switching to the business account so you can track everything is amazing. And then also saving other people's photos. Like Bailey, every time I see one that I like, I screenshot it. And then I have like 75,000 photos on my phone. No joke. And I'm like, and they're all other people's posts. And then I forget I even saved them. And then it's just like, I never even use them.
And there's another cool place too. I didn't talk about it, but in the save posts, you can actually create files now. So you can go into your save posts and create files of, maybe you have like an inspiration file because you liked the photo, or maybe you have aesthetic file, or like a posing file because you love the way that they pose with something. Like that sounds really silly, but I totally have that, because if someone creates something valuable, I want to be able to do the same thing.
Yeah. No, that's so awesome. I mean, just so much good information. So if you don't mind, do you care if we let people ask some questions?
No, not at all.
Okay. Okay, guys. So just say your name, where you're from, and if your line is not muted, please make sure that you have it muted so we can hear Bailey well.
This is Mercy Kirkendall. Oh my goodness. I took pages of notes, but one question I have is on my Instagram, it seems like I see lots of people have more than one story in that 24-hour period. And some reason I can only like post one story. Is that my phone, or is that something I'm not doing right?
Are you going and swiping over and trying to swipe up and it's not letting you?
No, I have not tried that.
Same thing. I was doing the same thing, and Lucas like laughed at me. So Bailey, Lucas is our 25-year-old, and he was like, "No, push the circle." And I wasn't tapping. Like I was trying to do it down below, and if you click on the circle, it just lets you add as many as you want over and over and over. He was like, "Click the circle, click the circle, click the circle."
Oh, I thought clicking the circle took pictures. See, I'm just new to it, so
that's okay. That's why I taught the basics. It's important.
Holy cow! Okay, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Who else has questions for her? I know you guys were posting questions in the chat. There's like 18 questions there. So if you have a question you had in the chat,
I can go ahead and answer those real quick.
Yeah, we'll scroll through them. And
is the video on YouTube? Yes, you can go on YouTube and type in Linktree and it will tell you how to create one. It's really simple. Honestly, when we were in California this last week, my mom was asking me 1,000 questions and I was like, I'm going to the beach. I want to do this with you and Dad at the same time so I don't have to repeat myself. If you want to do it right now, look it up. And she did, and she totally taught herself and she came back and she was so proud of herself. So it's really simple. It doesn't take long to teach. Let's see. Best place to go for videos on learning advanced Instagram stories. Adding music is really simple. It's just in that swipe up in the little corner like I showed you in the video. Again, you can go onto YouTube and just become a student again. It's really not super hard. Keep it simple. Don't overthink it and just be you and use the simple basics what I sent. I use an iPhone. I'm not really familiar with the Android, but I do know that there's people on our team that have Androids and they're able to use Instagram very similarly. When I trained on this before, it was really simple and they felt the same thing. And then let's see. Yes, my posts are public and you can go on and see them through there and just get some insight on that and some inspiration too.
Well, I'm going to ask another one. On save, and you said you can save a picture.
Yeah.
Does that save the whole post or does that just save like that picture, and can you repost that or can you just make your own words? Because Hilari said she saves a picture, screenshot it, so do I. But then can you still do that to use that picture with your own words, or how do you use the saved pictures in your saved files? Is that confusing?
No. So something that I would really empower you is Instagram does not like when you repost someone else's content. They will actually shame on you not show your stuff to other people. So what I would encourage you and really empower you is that your voice is enough and the things that God's putting on your heart is for a reason. Use that inspiration while you're scrolling to say, hey, that's really cool. I didn't think about that. How could I tell a story about that from my own head of what I think is valuable? How can I relate? And then create your own. So the saved post is really just there for inspiration. So you can go back and look at it and then be able to create your own authentic content for yourself. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
all right, any other questions or comments for Bailey? Bailey, I loved when you said tell the negative.
I have a question, Hilari.
Awesome. Yeah, Jen, go ahead.
Hi, thank you. That was so awesome. Bailey, do you know if the algorithms, if it makes a difference if it makes a difference if you are posting a picture from your camera versus a live picture? Does it show up more one way or the other?
I don't think it matters. I haven't heard anything. Did you hear that okay?
Can you say it again, Bailey?
Yeah, I don't think it matters. I haven't heard anything different. Just as long as you have good quality, that it's not blurry or looks like that it was on the go, just make sure that it's a good quality. I think you're fine. You can't really tell a difference between the live or even good quality like a Canon camera or your iPhone camera. The quality of the iPhone camera has gone so well that I would just say make sure you have good lighting and people will interact with it.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, anybody else have any questions?
I have a quick question. This is Katie.
Hi.
When it comes to the story, sometimes I see, I know I can make a picture and then write a text, but sometimes people, when I'm watching their story, texts keep popping, it's like a movie. How do you get it to keep popping instead of all the text in one picture?
Yes. So when you go onto your story and how I showed you in the top right-hand corner, how you can add, you can mention someone or tag a location, a GIF, GIF, those are moving photos, moving words. So if you click on that and type in let's say you wanted to put something about your girl gang, type in girl gang, and there'll be so many moving, really cool things that you can interact and use the GIF on your photo.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any other questions?
I have a question.
Go for it, Erica.
Hey guys, so on your Instagram stories, how do you make the picture stay and your words come up with every click?
Okay.
Do you have to screenshot it and then
yes.
continue?
So you
Okay.
screenshot the same photo. so that it, or not screenshot it, if you just go onto your Instagram and then you save that photo from your Instagram story. You tracking with me? Okay.
Yeah.
So save it and then leave it on there, and then go back to add a new story, swipe up from your camera roll, and that photo will be saved. Reuse that as the background and type over it the second thing that you want to pop up. And then do it again if you want more. But does that make sense? It's really hard to show. I'm like, here's my phone.
No, I tried to watch a video. No, I tried to watch a video on it once, and I'm like, what? And so someone tried to explain it to me, but it makes sense when you explain it in person. So yeah, that makes sense.
Great. Yes, that's.
So it's actually like having to do the same one, Bailey, like 3 or 4 different times if you want.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Add in words.
Yeah.
Look,
Bailey, where did you go to college?
Getting it. Yes, I played softball at Grand Canyon University.
Oh, cool. Nice. Well, thanks. It was a great one tonight.
Awesome. I'm so glad it provided value for you.
Thank you for asking that, Erica.
Bailey,
I just would have asking 5 questions.
Like, everybody's texting me like, she's so smart. She's so brilliant. Like, she's so put together. Everybody is loving you.
Oh, thank you. I'm learning. Awesome. Trust me. I got my own negative committee in my head, but I'm working through it every day.
That's awesome. All right. Anybody else have any questions or any comments? Quiet. All right. Okay. We have a chat. They're saying thank you. Everybody is saying thank you.
Thank you.
Get so much value from it. So Bailey, thank you so much. We will post this, guys, on our website, justinandhilarycourtney.com, in the next like 48 hours. So you can replay it, share it with your teams. And then Bailey, we will get you copies of all the other weeks of calls for your team members as well. So next week we're doing compensation. So if anybody has team members they want to have hop on or prospects, same time next week. And remember to go out and get your New Year's kickoff tickets. If you're just hopping on and you weren't on at the beginning, the company has tickets still left for New Year's kickoff. It will sell out though. And so we talked about that on a corporate call this afternoon. And then remember to be getting your 15 enrollments between now and the end of the year so that you can take advantage of the company's promotion that they announce in January. So, okay, guys, we hope you have an awesome week. And thank you again.
One more.
Okay, go ahead.
I do have one more.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You're okay.
Bailey, a quick question is, do you have a video of like what you already went through tonight, like you showing us step by step? Do you have that anywhere?
I do not.
Okay. All right.
I could probably create that.
No, Hilary's going to have it posted. So I was just curious so we could see it in bigger picture. No big deal.
Okay.
Just curious.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll have it posted within. I'll have Jen post it tomorrow if she can, instead of waiting till Wednesday, and that way you guys can watch it again tomorrow.
Thank you so much for having me, Hilary. I'm so
yes.
For all
Thank
of you
for being on. We appreciate it so much.
Sounds great, of course.
Okay, good night, everybody.
Bye.